Today we're going to be doing a leg stretching flexibility routine. Now you could do this at the end of a workout as a cool down, but what I like to do is I found it's very relaxing to do this in the evenings before I go to bed to help relax my leg muscles, get that tension out for the day. So if either of those options, whatever works well for you, I'm going to show you 5 stretches you can do for the muscles in your legs. So we're going to start out by one of the ones I found is tight for a lot of people. It's this muscle right in the front of the thigh here. So for this, we're going to do a runner's stretch. So you're going to kneel down and we're going to be stretching this back leg right here in the front of the thigh. So the further forward I step, the more of a stretch it's going to be. So I'm going to bring my hips forward, trying to push forward, bending that knee till I feel that stretch across the front of this back hip, or back, it goes from the hip all the way down into the thigh. So stretching along right in here. I find this is a great stretch, especially if you've been sitting or driving a lot. Very good stretch to do. We're gonna hold all these stretches for 30 seconds, letting that just relax into that stretch. It shouldn't feel painful. You should feel tension, but no pain. And we're gonna make sure to do both sides. Now I don't wanna arch my back as I'm doing this, I'm just to this. I didn't name it, but that's what I've heard it called. Let me know if you've heard this called a different name. So now we've just stretched the front. We're gonna stretch the back of your thigh now. So this is the hamstring muscle. It goes all the way from the back of your knee up here to attach to the hip bone. And I found this variation really gets up in these upper fibers of that hamstring really effectively. So you're going to put one foot out to the front. This is the leg we're stretching. And from here, I don't want you to reach down towards your toe. I want you to reach forward straight out in front of you. So trying to reach as far out to the front as you can till you feel that stretch in the back of your thigh. Now, if you go down forward, you might feel a stretch, but we're more stretching that back, and that's actually not what we want to do in this. We want to really hit those hamstring fibers. So it's keeping the back straight, reaching straight out to the front till you feel that stretch in the back of your thigh. Just go to where you feel tension, but no pain, and hold for 30 seconds. Find this is an easier stretch to control as well. There are other ways of stretching the hamstrings that work well, but this one I find is much more friendly for a wide range of people, because for some people they can only go to about here. Some people can reach really far out, so you can adjust it to where your level is. So the further forward you reach, the more intense that stretch is going to be. And same thing on the other side. Other leg. Now it might feel a little bit tighter on one side than the other. Just go to where you feel that tension in the back of your thigh. It runs all the way in, all the way down to your knee. A lot of people have tight hamstrings, and this is a great stretch if you do feel like you have tight hamstrings. I'd recommend strengthening them as well. There are things, that's why it's great to do this at the end of a leg day, where you can be working on your flexibility as well as your strength. This is also a great way to start if you haven't been working out as much. Starting with stretching is, I think, a great way to start, because you get used to that tension feeling in the muscle. Start making that mind-muscle connection to different muscles, and you're not going into just putting them straight under load or under weights. So now we just stretched the front and back. Now we're going to stretch the outside in this muscle that runs right where your pocket is. This is called the gluteus medius. A lot of people know about the gluteus maximus, but not as many people know about this gluteus medius right here. So Sometimes this can be tight and you don't even realize it. What we're gonna do, you're just gonna put this leg straight out of the way, and you're gonna bring this leg over and across. This is the leg we're stretching, okay? From here, you're gonna grab this knee and pull into your chest. Now, if you can't go all the way up, if it feels like you've got a stretch right here, and that's totally fine. Just try and hold that position. But if you can, try and pull into your chest till you feel that stretch, and hold that stretch. It should be right here in the side of your hip, right where your pocket is, or where your pocket would be. And we're gonna hold this stretch for 30 seconds. This one, sometimes when people have sciatic pain, this can be really tight. And so I like to show this stretch and make sure I'm maintaining this stretch so this isn't tightening up on me. A lot of people don't stretch the side of their hips or side of their leg, that what's called the abductor of the hip. It's the muscle that lifts out to the side. It's actually a very important balancing muscle. So it controls that side to side movement or wobble. So if this is so tight it's not able to contract correctly, then it can actually limit your balance. So same thing on the other side, hugging your knee into your chest till you feel a stretch in the side of that hip. Show you a little bit more from the side. So I'm pulling in and across till I feel that stretch in this bent leg. Now, if you should only go as far as you feel tension but no pain. So if you feel any numbness or tingling down your leg, back off a little bit. You're pulling too hard on your leg, where you're actually putting pressure on that nerve. It's that you have a big bundle of nerves that run right underneath this muscle. That's why we want to stretch out this muscle, make sure it's not like a guitar string over the top of that nerve. So I like to always stretch things in pairs. So if we stretch the outside of the hip, we're also going to stretch the muscles that pull on the inside of the hip too. So back to a kneeling position. What I'm going to do is bring one leg out to the side. So I'm going to be stretching this side on the inner part of my thigh. From here, you're just going to sit back towards your heel. So I'm just dropping my hips backwards till I feel that stretch on the inner part of my thigh. These are the adductors of the hip, the muscles that pull inwards. So I can put this hand on top of my thigh to sort of push down a little bit to add a little extra pressure. And you can feel that stretch on the inner part of your thigh. We're gonna be holding this for 30 seconds. A lot of times, people think they have tight hamstrings. They actually have tight hip adductors because this runs right next to the hamstring. So sometimes this muscle can be tight and people don't even realize it because it seems so close to the hamstrings. And it actually can limit your hamstring flexibility too, because if this is tight, I can definitely feel it's actually tighter on this side. I'm gonna be a little bit higher. I can't quite get so low before I feel that tension on the inner part of my thigh. But if this is stopping my leg from moving, my hamstrings in the back can start getting tight too because they're not moving through that range because this muscle is limiting it. So this is a good combination stretch to do, especially if you feel like you have tight hamstrings. I would recommend stretching this too. It actually attaches up to the same place your abs do. So the bottom of your abs attach right here at the front of your pelvic bone. So do your adductors. They go all the way into that pelvic bone. Hey, B2, how are you? Good to see you. Glad you were able to make it. All right, we've got one more stretch to do, and that'll be our 5 leg day stretches. So for this one, it's gonna be a standing stretch, and we're gonna be stretching the calf muscle. So what you're gonna do is step back. Now the bigger the step, the more of a stretch it's gonna be on this back leg. And what I'm gonna do is actually try and drive my heel down to the ground. So I'm keeping this knee straight and really trying to push that heel down to the ground as I bend this knee forward. You should feel that stretch all along your calf down to your heel. So I'm really trying to push that heel down as low as I can, keep that constant tension, hold for 30 seconds. Now, there's other ways of stretching the calf. I really like this one. I feel like I get a good stretch all the way up to those upper fibers of the gastroc, which is the upper part of the calf muscle. There's 2 muscles that form the calf. It's the soleus and the gastroc. And that gastroc goes all the way up to the knee. Now, if you want, you could do this against a wall, or just have something for support, or just freestanding is fine too. B2 asks, could you tell me some good knee stretches? Slightly hyperextended my knee a few weeks ago and have been taking it easy on the field since then. So if you hyperextended your knee, so that would be doing like this where it's hyper out. Let me think for a moment. So if you are trying to get back that bent range, you feel like it's not going there, what you could do is do a quad stretch. So reaching around, grabbing your ankle and pulling up to the back. If you feel like, and then holding this for 30 seconds on both sides. If you need to, if it's too hard to reach around and grab your ankle, what you can do is take a chair and then put your foot up on the chair and slowly, you could even stack up books on top of the chair to add a little bit of height. So as you progress, say you've got some books, put them on the chair, and then that will add a little bit of extra height. You can slowly work your way up to where you can reach around and grab. So that will stretch the muscles here in the front of your thigh. Now, now for the back of the thigh, I would actually recommend, move that chair out of the way. That hamstring stretch we did earlier, kneeling here, 1 foot out in front of you to help stretch these muscles in the back of the thigh. They go all the way down to the back of the knee, and then reaching out over the top of your knee, feeling that stretch in your hamstrings all the way up to the back of the hip. But if you hyperextended your knee, you also want to give your body time for it to heal and make sure that there's no other damage in the ligaments in your knee sometime, and that would be something I would say you would need to go get checked out. If you have other pain in your knee, sometimes that patella, that kneecap can slip and sort of grate along other tissues. So just make sure that I would get that checked if you are having pain or discomfort in your knee. I've been struggling because even though my knee is fine, it's scary to do any activity that's slightly challenging. I hear you. It's always difficult when you've had an injury to come back and I would encourage you to give yourself time to do that gradient of exercise back up. So I know you've worked out and you might be used to working at this level, but it's okay to be coming in and doing lighter weight to give your body that time it needs to adapt and build back up. it will come back with time, but just jumping right back up to a really intense thing can be a recipe for greater injury. So it's much better to take it slow, take it one step at a time, and build back up to where it was pre-injury. So I know that's never fun. I had when I was training for my black belt in Taekwondo, I tore a bone in the front of my knee on my left side right in here. I can still actually feel there's a little bit of a bone knob right there. I have what was called Osgood-Schlatter's disease, where it tore the bone. And it took me 4 months of doing nothing to let it heal. And then it took time to come back to retrain for my black belt to do that. But I know it takes time, but trust me, you want to give yourself that time to build it back up rather than trying to jump back in all the way, because that's how you actually stay healthy and don't risk re-injury. So it's like, I get it, it is tough. And that's one of the reasons I'm so focused on trying to help people work out without re-injury or without initial injury, because I get those things happen, but the less we can have those happen, the better. It's always harder to come back from an injury rather than take it a little bit slower, safer, and just make constant progress where we're able to continue on. Hopefully those 2 stretches help though as you're rehabbing or you're recovering from a hyperextended knee. Were you playing soccer, or as you said on the field? I know that can be something with the soccer where you come to kick and then it can hyperextend. Yeah, soccer. It's the ankle sprains and the hyperextensions on soccer. Sometimes the ACL tears too. Soccer and basketball really can be pretty brutal on your knees. So yeah, I would start with trying to get some range back in your quads, making sure those don't tighten up on you. Even just setting your foot on a chair or a stool, something low, and having a little bit of knee bend to where you feel that tension right in here. I'd start with that and slowly work your way up. No, you don't play soccer. Oh, I'm sorry. Just doing conditioning drills. Oh, I see. Okay. My bad. Yeah, I would say squats. If it's causing you any discomfort, I'd pay really attention to that. I would start light if you're doing anything, because it's very easy to throw heavy weights on and then have something else give out while that's recovering. You don't want to do that. It's a good question though. Thank you for asking. So we're gonna end there today. If you like these sort of workouts and want to see more, I host them on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So hope to see you guys there, and stay happy and healthy.